Do you mind, Laurie, people seeing your picture? I think you've already done it.
No, no,
No, you
no
don't
problem.
mind.
My hair, I can't blow dry it because at the retreat they said we can't use a blow dryer.
I
So
know.
I wanted to see what it would look like without it blow drying. It's not too bad, but
Yeah,
it's not.
it's because hang on. You're like, where am I going? It's because they're all solar panels.
Yeah.
So like last time when I got there, it was so funny because they're they're like, I mean, they're very not economically, ecological, and and then like they were helping me unpack and get my stuff, and I opened my case, and then pops my hair straighteners, my hair dryer, and they're like, you can't use that, and I'm like, the vain teacher that like they looked at me like, she's got hair straighteners in her. But because I've got flat hair, like my hair's so flat, when I wake up in the morning, it's like sometimes like.
Me too, but mine's curly, so it's awful.
Oh, but it looks really nice. Hang on, just let me look to see if people are okay with the volume. Hang on, I can go on to the chat. So is people okay with the... let me just look. Is the sound okay? Sound is good, no echo. Okay, cool.
Nice. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So it was my earphones that weren't working.
It's weird, eh?
I want to bring my bike. Can I put my bike on the plane?
You can actually.
No.
Yeah, but I think it'll cost you a fortune.
I probably would.
Yeah.
I would love to go biking over there.
Yeah.
I'm a big bike.
Maybe they have bikes, but I don't remember that, and then there wouldn't be enough for everyone. But I don't remember them having bikes. But yeah, it's really hilly, so it'll be so good for you as well. Just walking up those hills, they're so steep as a killer.
Okay, so we're going to need hiking shoes.
Yeah, hiking shoes, yeah.
Okay, definitely.
But also,
shoes.
I think it'll be quite warm as well, so bring warm clothes.
You bring like tank tops and shorts. You're talking.
Yeah,
Not anything.
but also a bit warmer for at night. But also bring like hiking boots if you want to go for a hike, because it's like it's like mountains. We're on a mountain. We're on a mountainside.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Cool. Okay, so this is worried about being silent for 10 days.
Well, there might be a little bit of talking in between because when people leave in the middle and stuff. What are you worried about?
Okay, you remember I did it for 5 days at Jeff Foster.
Yeah.
And I came back and there were things happening I didn't know. So I'm hoping the things happen when I'm with you so you can help me figure out what's happening. Remember my body went black
Yeah.
all that shit. Wow.
Yeah. It will be beautiful. It'll be really exciting, I think.
Well, you've been talking lately about going, feeling it and all, and not escaping, because I use Facebook. I see it. I know that I don't want to be with myself. I know that the universe did this on purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't me that did this. When I found out it was silent for 10 days, I messaged you. I was like, so,
I know on the website it just says there will be some silence.
I did not say 10 days. And then you say, we're going to ease you into it, though. Okay, so everybody here knows how much I talk, and they're all like, you can't do it.
You can walk up to the village and speak to the villagers in Spanish.
Well, Michelle and I are going to be roommates, so we're going to have to make a pact to zip, because you don't want us talking even when we're
No, but
away.
if you really need to, you can go off site and talk. But when I did it a few years ago with Naho, she was at my retreat and we were sharing a room, and every time the silence started, we'd just get uncontrollable giggles. It was just like, we know we have to be silent now, and it was just so unbearably funny. And then like it's totally dead silence, and you just hear me and Naho like.
I can see me
doing that. Don't kill me.
Laughter's okay though. And when you're in the talks, you can talk. I mean, there's going to be like 4 hours, 5 hours of talks a day, or 6 hours of talks. Normally, I advertise 4 just so if I don't feel like it, I don't do 6. But normally it's about 6. Normally each session goes on more. But I don't advertise that because if I feel like a break, I'm like, okay, that's it now.
Right. Okay. So, so there's a special place that we're going to meet.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the,
Yeah. So there'll be like a talks room, and then in the talks room, and what I'll do is I'll make everybody talk. Like I'll keep checking in with people, and so everyone will talk. So yeah.
oh, how many of us are there?
I think there's about 25 for the first week, and then maybe 23 for the second week, or 22 for the second week.
Wow,
There was more, but just a couple of days ago, cancelled. So we've gone down. But it's a nice amount for this retreat centre. I think 25 is like, I think a good amount.
Okay.
So they've just extended though, actually, so it might be different.
Okay. So you have no other pointers for us? We're bringing the euros.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting them
another way to get euros out, because it's so complicated at the moment for all of us, because the guy is English that owns a retreat centre, and none of us want to pay in pounds, so I don't want to pay him. So that's why I want you, because I don't want to pay him, because I'm going to have to pay him through pounds, and pounds has crashed in euros. It's a disaster for me. So this is why it's so complicated, because none of us want to get pounds in our bank.
So what should I?
No, euros is great. Euros is great, but the part of the reason why I don't want people to pay me his amount, like the retreat centre's amount, is because I don't. If you guys pay me in pounds and then I pay in euros, it's disaster for me.
You get? Oh, I see.
I lose.
Just with us,
Yeah.
I have to bring my 750 euros, but it's costing me 853.
Yeah. This is constant. It's so crazy. But I've heard of this new thing, and my friend got me interested in this new thing called digital banking. And in digital banking, you can transfer for free, but it's just not very popular at the moment. So people, the one that I've got some digital money in is called Bitcoin, but it's just so unpopular. But it's terrible what the banks do, because I just don't.
I could sign up for this bank.
But the thing is I doubt the retreat centre accept Bitcoin yet, because it's quite small. So it has to be a few more years. But I've begun to accept Bitcoin, because I just really disagree with the amount that banks charge for everything, and they keep your money for all this period and then invest it and make money on it, and then huge. Like every time I transfer into Europe, I get charged a basic fee of £30, and then I get charged a percentage on the exchange. It's like,
yeah, we have to pay shipping. We don't. My bank's not charging us for getting euros, just for the shipping of them.
Yeah, you might have been better actually. Although I don't know, you most probably researched it. But I find the best way is always to take cash out when I arrive in a place by the cash machine. That's the best way. Even though they still charge you, I still find that the best exchange for me. For me personally,
I brought my own cash there.
And if you bought your card, your debit card, and then took it out from a cash point, that's what.
Yeah, but
or credit card.
Out 750 euros.
I think you'd have to get 500 and then 500 or something. But they won't let you take out more than 500 at a time. That's what my bank does. Yeah.
So I just got the euros for the retreat.
Yeah.
And then we could exchange with our debit card over there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
For the stuff that we need.
Yeah, just make sure that you've activated them before you go, so your banks know that you're going and they don't deactivate them because they think they've been stolen or something.
Right.
And credit card is often the cheapest way to go, like using your credit card to take out money and put in credit. You should just look into those different. Credit card is good for me actually, but also my debit card is the cheapest way for me to, particularly around Europe and in the US as well actually. But I always have to activate when I go, not to Europe, but to the US, I have to activate my cards.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm so glad I talked
to you.
And
actually, sometimes buying on credit card, you don't get charged anything abroad. But obviously you get charged fees by your credit card company, I think. I don't know what credit cards you have, but sometimes credit cards, and there's an insurance on it as well. Like, so you can just pay for your dinner with your credit card and then you don't get charged anything. I think that's what my parents use. I don't use my credit card so much because I'm not trustworthy with that. It's only for car rental. I'll end up getting myself huge fines. But I think that's maybe the best way.
Okay, I'm going to tell Michelle that we're going to be.
Yeah, it's just because it's just such a hard one. The exchange is so crazy that we all have these different currencies, and now, yeah.
Instead of the same thing across the board. Yeah. Why wouldn't they do that across the world?
Yeah. What? It's because of all the investment companies. It's not to do with the general people. It's all the big companies that will lose money in it.
How they make their money. Exactly. Yeah. All about it. It really is all about money.
Yeah. I was watching this amazing documentary. I was going to post it on my Facebook page, and it was about prisons in America. It was really, really interesting. I'll post it on my Facebook page. I didn't finish watching the movie, that's why I never posted it. But it was all about, like, prisons is about economy. Like, we think that it's about catching crime, but it's so much about economy. But you watch it. I'll post it on there and watch it. I've forgotten the name of it. It's called 13th, I think. 13th. Okay. It's on Netflix. It's so crazy, like, how it all comes down to economy. We think that we on the everyday people think that it's so much more about, like, the way things work or the goodness for humanity, and then when you break everything down, you're like, oh, that comes down to economy as well.
Everything does.
It's funny. So when do you fly to Europe?
This coming Saturday. Right now, a week from today, I'll be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
She is too.
Have you ever been to Spain before?
No, I have not. But I want to show you something. Oh, it's raining, but look at that. Oh, it's wet.
Oh, we're losing connection. Oh, the trees are so beautiful. Are they maple trees? That's such lovely colors.
Yes. But they're all in full. She's going to see peak color when she gets here. She's never been to Maine, and we are in full. The trees look like candy.
Oh, they nice. And she's when's she coming, Michelle?
She'll be here Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very pretty. Yeah. So Spain is really different from America, but I feel more comfortable in Europe because I'm so much more used to it, whereas America seems a little bit more alien to me.
Yeah, because that's where you come from. But Spain has the palm trees and the water looks so beautiful. Yeah. Is it close to the water, the retreat?
The retreat center is about an hour from water, but the Malaga is close. It's right on the ocean, and Granada is maybe about an hour as well from the ocean. But you'll love Granada. It's so cute.
That's where. Okay, yeah, because we're landing in Malaga.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, I think that's where we're staying. We want a couple of days before the retreat.
Yeah.
So we can check things out.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's so cute. It's so cute, Spain. Especially when you go to the old towns, like the old bits. Malaga, the bits that I've never been to the old town of Malaga. I don't even know if there is one. So I've never seen like the really oldie bits there. But as soon as you go to the towns or the villages around, it's really beautiful. There's another one that I would recommend if you haven't booked. There's another one that's near Malaga, like a little town that's called Nidra or something. Nidra.
Nidra?
Something like that. N-I-J-I or N-I-J-A or something. Okay. But you can write to me after and ask the name and I'll look it up and send it to you. My aunt lives there.
Oh.
It's very cute. I know.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people in Europe and England have holiday homes in that bit of Spain. It's very.
Is it a ritzy high end?
Some of it is. Some of the areas are really high end. Like that area, I think is quite high end, and then some of them are like the sort of like a beer. What's it called? Like I forget the name. Beer-seeking English people, which you don't want to be around so much.
Beer seeking.
They're the sort of like a bit. They drink lots of alcohol and get drunk and pass out on the beach, and all the English people are ashamed of them and like.
Okay.
But yeah, there's loads of English people in southern Spain.
So we'll be talking pretty much English. We won't have to worry about getting around.
Uh, yeah. You'll mostly be able to speak English. Some of the Spanish might struggle a little, but most of the Spanish speak English. Yeah, especially in the tourist areas. But download Google Translate on your phone or what phone do you have?
iPhone 6.
iPhone 6. So download iTranslate or Google Translate, but make sure you download one that goes offline, so you can use it to translate.
Right, because I don't want to use. Right. Okay.
So download one that comes offline. You have to pay, I think, for that, but not that much. A couple of euros.
It's a
pounds.
lot better than going online.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you just get stuck, and so I always have it just in case. But Spain's quite good. France is terrible. I'm always getting stuck, so I always use it.
Okay. Google Translate.
That's so exciting!
No, I can't imagine being in after 3 years of talking with you through this screen, face to face. I don't know. I can't even fathom.
That was so funny. And in Spain as well. Nice. Oh, nice, Laurie. And have a lovely flight. How many flights do you have to take?
2. Just 2. We're just going from Maine to New York, and then New York is straight shot.
Oh, to Malaga.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, we lucked out. It was only $718.
Wow, return.
Can't even go from Maine to California for that.
Wow.
That's why I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
I could not say no. Because 2 weeks at a place talking with you in Spain for $850, and they're going to feed me?
Yeah.
All Aryan food. I can't do anything like that here in the United States. I'm going to Spain.
Yeah.
It was no brainer. It was like
it's part of the reason why I stay in the southern countries, because I couldn't do that in England. I couldn't do that in France. Although I've just found a really good retreat centre that's owned by the government in France and makes it really cheap, because the government support it to make it cheap for French people.
so. And you'll be.
Yeah,
And
so
that's-
I will do that next year. But part of the reason why I go to Spain and Greece and why I went to Romania is because it's so much cheaper and it's warm and it's really beautiful, and they can offer so much better. And one thing that I because of my political views a little bit, I have a dislike when it's just so expensive for seekers to go and do things all the time, like because. When I was learning non-duality, I was so lucky, and like Ramesh, you could pay by donation, like, and I just so many of the speakers were so generous to me. So I try to keep it quite low priced or have different varieties of price so everybody can join. Like that's part of the reason why I'm going to try going to India every year, is because then people can come every day, and it's by donation, so everyone can.
Oh,
pay
so
what
it's
they pay.
not just a group of people. It's people coming in and out, different.
Yeah,
No.
this in India, yeah, and then it means, and they can pay by donation, so they can pay as little as much as they like, and then they can have it for a long period of time, because sometimes it is just hearing it again and again and again and being in that energy.
Hey,
So-
I know. That's exactly what's happened for me.
Yeah.
But there's still, like the guy that you talked to Wednesday, it's the body thing, right? It's the body thing that's just not connected, I think.
What do you mean?
Like you said, I understand it here
Yeah,
clearly, and I seem to be helping others. They're reaching out to me left and right. I'm helping a lot of people. It's the love that I'm sharing, basically. That's all it is. And I don't. There's something that's not. It's not there. I guess I don't know.
yeah,
That's a thought,
yeah,
but it's like the whole non-dual reality of you not being there and this being a dream, that's not lived or recognized. I
Yeah.
know I'm more in the moment.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not projecting, or the thoughts still come about the future, but they're not dragging me down with it. I
Yeah.
don't get body sweats and fear of the future anymore. But the whole non-dual thing about this not being real, that's not being lived. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. You
Yeah.
know, your opening in Bali
Yeah.
where I saw her and she was beautiful. I've had none of that.
Yeah. And that happens when it happens. Like, often what happens first of all is the person becomes really relaxed, or the person really begins to understand itself, and then these openings happen. But I wouldn't even think about it too much, because otherwise it just becomes a new thing
Well,
that
okay.
exists out there.
So the only time I think about it is when I listen to a non-dual video. It's true. Other than that, I don't think about it. It brings me right back every time I listen to you talk, or somebody calling in saying that they're, okay, so that's the mind comparing
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
saying, you don't get it, and they do.
Yeah. And so just go into that energy, because that's all it is. It's like, so when that happens, when you're listening to me, or when somebody calls in, go into what you actually feel and see, and try to see what stories want to be told about Laurie being there or not being there. Just examine it and see it, everything as an opening, like everything is guiding you home. So it's like when you react, that's the thing that's saying, okay, there's still something that's illusory here. And it's not really about that you've got to see it, or you've got to have the non-dual realization. It's just seeing what's not true in this moment. So what's not true is that there's somebody in your body, there's a Laurie sitting there that hasn't got it, and there's somebody out here that has got it. This is based on comparison and thoughts, and this isn't true. And the more that the not true is exposed, the more that it's seen as it is, which is simply this happening, and this isn't somebody's experience. This isn't a located experience. This is everything experiencing itself. But don't look for that, because if you look for that, you'll suffer. It's like you trying to look for it.
Yes.
Just see when the alarm bells go off as to what the body sees as not true. You know, when that energy comes up of, what are they talking about? And everybody has so many different experiences. Somebody was telling me the other day about one of their experiences, and I've never had an experience like that. They were talking about seeing it as hologram and light. It was like in front of them, and I was like, wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, some of the experiences are like, why did, yeah, I guess it's all to show you what's real and what's not.
That's exactly it. Every time you suffer, or that suffering energy comes, it's just saying there is an illusion here. There is a false thought. There's something out of line with reality. And that's what it is. It's like a Tibetan bell. Like, so when the energy comes, it's like, the bells that like guiding you home.
What Byron Katie taught us is, it's your temple bell. The minute your stomach clenches or you feel that reaction in your body, that's your temple bell to look, to stop.
And it took me a long time to realize that, because I always wanted to stay on the top surf story. And it took a good friend of mine pointing out many times, sorry I have to keep kicking the computer, but Elango keeps calling, and every time he calls, it covers your face. Suddenly I'm talking to Elango.
I don't see you doing anything. I mean, I saw you move your hand, but it didn't.
I have to keep moving it. Every time he calls, I have to click to see you again. It's like, Elango! So,
got an image.
Yeah. And it always is really funny, because the way Skype works is it always puts it directly on top of the person that's speaking when it calls. So wherever I put your face, because I've got your face in a little box, it still pops up there. Okay, so what was I saying? I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh my God, you are so me. I do the same thing. Everybody says I'm getting Alzheimer's.
But there was something I was just about to say.
Shit. And you think I'm going to pull it back?
Oh yeah, no, I've got it. So, I get it. So I was saying it took me years. I had a friend that used to point out to me. So we used to go walking every day, and what would happen was he would say something that would annoy me, and my stomach would clench, but I wasn't conscious of that. Even though it happened and knowingness knew it, the Lisa character wasn't conscious of it. So then the Lisa character would pretend to not be annoyed by him. So she would pretend to be fine with it, but she wasn't even conscious she was doing this. She would just be on the surface. It would be like he'd say something and I'd be like, poof. And then I'd be like, it's fine. Wow, that's so amazing what you're saying. And he was quite aware, so he would say, no, it's not. I've pissed you off now. And I'd be like, no. And I remember, like, at first when he used to point it out, I would really try and fight it. It was like the mind wanted to stay in the nice story on the surface. No, you haven't upset me. And then eventually, after a few times of him insisting that I was annoyed, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm fucking pissed off. You're a fucking arse and I hate you.
What a blessing he was for you.
Yeah. And it was like I would attempt, and it would day after day would go walking, and this was quite a repetitive pattern, but like day after day of doing that, it would be like I just stopped fighting it. And that's why I keep saying to people, just go deeper, because eventually it comes down to, because underneath me thinking I was an asshole, it's like he said something that made me feel not enough, and so therefore then I went into you're an asshole. Or he said something I was afraid of, and I'm like, you're an asshole. It's always the same things. And then we try to live in the top story of, no, I really love you. You're so beautiful. No, I love it. This is amazing. And it's so fake. And this is where we suffer. And so when the kick happens, it's like, ding, 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 ding.
I have a man in my life on Facebook, and he, for some reason, he is able, whenever he says something, like he said something about my good friends. I have some friends that are overweight compared to me. I'm smaller than a lot of people in the United States, and it doesn't friggin' matter. And he called them porkers to my face on the phone, and that killed me. And I just said to him, oh boy, you are challenging me right now. And I got to figure out that he's not defining them. It was my judgment of him judging them.
Yeah.
That was huge for me.
Yeah.
To get through that.
Yeah.
And
but then what's really amazing is when you go past that. So when you see that every kick in your stomach is your projection and your suffering, then that can fall away. And then he calls your friends a porker, and you can be like, F off, you bastard, calling them a porker. Look at you, your tummy hanging over. So then you can call it that, but you call it without the kick, because it's not that then you become like really passive and allow like people being asses, but it's like it happens without you being like that kick, that like somebody's mortally offended you. Yeah, and then you try to like feel that, or you try to help that. So then you can reply to him in an innocent way, and that innocent way might be feisty, might be like, oh, come on, you could, whatever it is.
You know what I said to him? I said, the reason you would judge them as porkers is because you're judging yourself as one.
Yeah.
And then he admitted, yeah, I am 20 pounds overweight ever since I moved here.
Yeah. And then, and that's exactly it. And then it doesn't give that energy. You're not attacking them to put them down. You're just replying to them as in an innocent way. And then that changes the energy of everything. But when it offends you and you take it personally, then you want to hurt them and you want to put them down and make yourself feel better. It's like your own game.
Yeah.
It's so funny the way the self works. It's just layers and layers of deception. It's all about being honest.
And it all goes back to that bottom line defense of not being worthy.
Yeah, always.
It always comes back to that. It's always defending because it doesn't believe it's worthy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also to be afraid as well. But they're kind of similar. The fear and not being worthy. They're really
Fear of
similar.
not worthy. Exactly. Yeah. Oh.
It's exciting, and now you're going to have 14 days of being hammered with this. I'm relentless.
He says that you're going to come back as a monk. I said, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea.
And is Peter enjoying not working? Or is he still feeling nervous about it? Still nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's understandable after working for a company so long, yeah. And I can also imagine that he feels betrayed as well.
Definitely. But somebody brought it to my attention that it wasn't, I mean, betrayed by the higher ups that didn't, but the customers and the workers, the guys that worked for him, you know, he worked at a Volvo dealership. He gave the guys the work. They are coming out. They're telling him they miss him. They were devastated when he left. Devastated.
Yeah.
It was obvious. I mean, he went around shaking all their hands and he was fighting back tears, and they were all like, "What the?" So those are the people that make the company, not the higher ups.
Yeah.
So that just changed everything, really.
Oh,
so it's going. The identity was wrapped up in being a provider for me, the thoughts are we're going to be homeless, we're going to be on the streets. I'm like, I'm still going to Spain. Oh boy. It's all hitting the fan right now.
Yeah. But it's great, juicy stuff.
It is real juicy stuff. Real juicy. I mean, I just keep saying you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. It's just, what the frick? It's perfection. I see the perfection in it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
Nice to speak with Laurie. And maybe next time I speak with you will be in Spain, more than likely. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Bye.